Hello viewers, welcome again to my next lecture, that is lecture number 2. Previously I have uploaded two lectures, that is lecture 1 part A and lecture 1 part B, and now today I will be starting my lecture 2. But before starting my lecture I request all the viewers and students to subscribe my channel and also to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates of my next upcoming lectures. Okay, as you all know that I have started the online GATE series for 2021 preparation of GATE, and I am taking section 2 Applied Mechanics and Design, module Engineering Mechanics. Moving forward, as you all know in my previous lectures that I have already mentioned my profile, myself Professor Hemant Sharma, Department of Mechanical Engineering and working in Prestige Institute of Engineering, Management and Research, a very renowned institute in the Indore city. My qualifications are also given in the slide. So moving forward fastly, in my lecture number 2, I will be covering various topics, various important topics which are so important before starting or going to the numerical portions. In my today's lecture, you will be coming to know about the addition of two vector forces, equilibrium conditions. There are two cases, case 1 and case 2. In case 2, we will be coming to know about more about the moment, various formulas of moment, scalar formula and vector formula, and lastly the addition of moments. So let's start with the next slide. What is the force? As I will be going fast through some of the slides because we have already discussed this in last lectures. I have just put this topics as to refresh in 2 minutes or so. What is a force? Force is a push or a pull on a body. Force is a vector quantity and its unit is Newton. How to represent a force? A force can be represented by vector. This is how to completely describe a force in x-axis. If a force is acting in x-axis, then you can represent the force vector as a vector form as 8I kilonewton. If you want to represent only the magnitude, then you can write the magnitude of force is equal to 8 kilonewton. In vector form, we will write the force in x direction as 8I cap. I is the unit vector in x direction. For example, a 10 Newton force is acting in y direction, then we can say that the force vector force can be represented as 10 j cap kilonewton. Okay. Points to remember, these are the various points which already we have discussed, that the principle of transmissibility plays a very important role for the solving the numerical portions. So I am not discussing here in detail. How to add two forces? We have to add the two vector addition of the forces. So the vector addition, we all know that the vector can be represented, two vectors can be represented by with the help of a parallelogram law, and the resultant can be find out with very easily with the help of parallelogram law. So the vector addition of two forces, that is f vector is equal to f1 vector plus f2 vector. If f1 vector is represented with the help of vector in direction and y direction, sorry, x direction and y direction, that is 40 I cap plus 30 j cap. These are the coordinates 40 and 30 in x and y direction respectively. And another force F2 can be represented by minus 60 I cap plus 50 j cap. Then what is the resultant? You can easily find out the resultant with the help of above formula in vector addition. By vector addition, that F1 and F2, adding F1 and F2, we get 40I minus 60I, that is minus 20I cap, and 30J plus 50J cap comes out to be 80J cap. I will be taking one more lecture on vector representation of forces and vector addition of forces in 2D as well as 3D. So be prepared for my next upcoming lectures, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Okay, moving forward towards the next part, that is conditions of equilibrium. Now we will be discussing the conditions of equilibrium of forces. When a set of forces are acting on a particle, then there may arise two cases. That is case 1, when concurrent forces are given and no need of moment. Then the very easy formula for finding the equilibrium condition, that is condition of equilibrium, and that is to a static equilibrium condition of the particle. The equations are as follow. The only one equation is follows here, that is summation of F is equal to 0. This means that the sum of all the forces acting on any body is equal to 0. In 2D, if the forces are in 2D, then we can represent it the splitting the force is equal to 0, summation of force is equal to 0 in two parts, that is horizontal part and vertical part. That is, in horizontal component, that is summation of Fx is equal to 0. Sum of all the forces in x directions equal to 0. And summation of Fy is equal to 0. Sum of all the forces vertically is equal to 0. You can also represent this equations as summation of all the forces parallel to x-axis equal to 0, and sum of all the forces parallel to y-axis equal to 0. Not even only x and y-axis, any plane can be considered as the x-axis, or say the plane forces parallel to the plane should be equal to 0 summation, and the summation of all the forces perpendicular to any plane should be equal to 0. In 3D, we can write the forces as summation of Fx is equal to 0, summation of Fy is equal to 0, and summation of Fz is equal to 0. And next case number 2 is when non-concurrent forces are given and need of moment is necessary. That is the condition of equilibrium, case number 2. Before discussing the case number 2, we should know about the moment. What is a moment? So I will explain the concept of moment here. That moment can be also be known as the torque or a torque, moment or a torque, tendency of a force to cause rotation about a point or axis. For example, I am demonstrating here that the moment has a tendency tendency to cause rotation about a point. How? This is the fulcrum. If I applied the force here, then you can see that this point is rotating like that. If I am applying force here, that this point is rotating. In easy language, I can say that the force is the direct application of the force at one point, and the indirect effect of the force at another point is the moment, which tends to turn the object or say rotate about a point or any axis. For understanding the rotation about an axis, you can take this example like that. If I will put a force here, apply a force here, then this axis will be comes into rotation like that. Okay, or say here I will be putting my applying the force here, then this axis will be coming under rotation. Okay, we will be discussing more about this topic in my coming lectures. So moving forward towards my today's part, formula of moment. There are two formulas of moment. As per the definition of moment, the scalar formula will be the moment at any point P. As you can see in this figure, that the moment at any point P can be represented by, or the formula as moment is equal to force multiplied by perpendicular distance. If we know the line of action of the force and any point where the moment we have to calculate the moment at point P, then we have to draw or drop the perpendicular. Exactly, the perpendicular is the shortest distance from any point to the given line. This line of action is the force, and the perpendicular distance is the distance between point P and this force. So this is the formula for force, scalar formula. But there is one more interesting formula for moment, finding the moment. If we go for solving any problem by vector method, then we should know about the moment part, the formula of moment in vector method. The formula of force in vector method can be represented by this is the vector multiplication. As you all know that there are two methods of multiplicating vector quantity. First is dot product and second is cross product. Dot product is also known as scalar product, and cross product is also known as vector product. So here we will be applying the vector product. In vector product, we will be knowing the distance PB. This is very clear that this distance representation of the distance in vector form is starting from point P to point B. That it can also be written as the position vector of point B with respect to point P. This is, and the line of action of force is given in the diagram below. This is the line of action of the force, and any point, take any point B, not necessarily perpendicular. The line PB is not perpendicular. B is any point on the line of action of this force, and the point B when selected, then R vector will be the vector, distance vector, displacement vector from point P to point B. That is R vector PB. Okay, we will be discussing when we will be solving the various numericals on how to add moments, make use of the Verignos theorem to sum the moments, solve a two-dimensional moment problem. We will be discussing when numericals, then we will be discussing more clearly this topic. Principle of moment, recall the definition of a moment, that is moment is equal to R vector cross F vector, and the direction will be automatically coming in either a positive or negative x direction, or positive or negative y direction, or positive or negative z direction. And what is Verignos theorem? As I already discussed in my about Verignos theorem in my first lecture, part B. The moment of any force is equal to the algebraic sum of the moments of the components of that force. That is, if F, any force, resultant force can be represented by F1 vector plus F2 vector, then at taking any point P on the plane in which all the forces are acting, that then at that point the vector addition is applied, and then the Verignos theorem is applied. So as per the Verignos theorem, R vector cross F1 vector is equal to R vector, this is R1 vector, this is R2 vector. R2 vector cross F2 vector. The sum of the moments, this is the moment of the first force about any point P, and this is the moment of second force about any point P, and this is the summation of both the moments of both the forces about any point P, and that is equal to the moment of the force alone. That force, that is not the force, this is the resultant of both the forces, the resultant moment of resultant alone at that point P. Okay, we will be discussing the numerical part in my next lecture, and before that, this is my last slide of this lecture. That is condition number 2, when in equilibrium condition, when the moment is also applied, that is where we will need the help of moment to solve various variables. So the static equilibrium conditions vector form can be represented by summation F is equal to 0 and summation of all the moments at any point P is equal to 0. In a scalar form, we can split in two dimension as Fx is equal to 0, Fy is equal to 0, and summation of Mp is equal to 0. Three independent equations are needed here to solve three independent variables. And in 3D form, Fx is equal to summation of Fx is equal to 0, summation of Fy is equal to 0, and summation of Fz equal to 0, and as well as summation of all the moment about axis P is equal to 0, summation of all the moment about axis P y is equal to 0, and summation of all the moment about axis Z is equal to 0. And in 3D form, we have 6 independent equations, and we can very easily solve the variables which are given in the question. We can solve up to 3, 4, 5, 6 independent variables. So there is one more point that we can also represent this formula of equilibrium condition as relationships between sum of moments, summation F is equal to 0 and summation P is equal to 0. If this is given as an static equilibrium, then we can take any point other than P on that plane, that may be A, B, C, D, and so on. And at every point, the summation of all the moments about that point A, B, C, or D, or any point is equal to 0. And for any arbitrary point, we choose on that plane. So this static equilibrium condition can also be represented as a summation of Ma is equal to 0, summation of Mb is equal to, summation of Mc is equal to 0. Okay, this was my last slide. Thank you, viewers, and please subscribe my channel if you want to see my next upcoming videos. We will meet in next video, that is lecture number 3. Thank you once again.